Hello, everybody. My name's Rick McCutcheon. I'm a Dynamics 365 MVP, and I'm here today with Kelly Moodie from Provance Software. Kelly, introduce yourself and tell the people what you do.
Yeah, hi, Rick. Thanks so much for having me here. I'm really pleased to be here to talk to Microsoft partners and customers who are really the most important people in the world as far as I'm concerned. So I'm CEO of Provance, and we are a software company, and we've been building software since 1997. So an older company, but a newer company. And first we really launched out into the realm of IT asset management. And more recently, about 5 years ago or so, we added IT service management. So, Rick, if you think about, the partner ecosystem with Microsoft, we would land squarely in what they would call an ISV. In fact, we won the Global Partner of the Year award for the Platform Partner in 2018, and we've been in the Microsoft Strategic, Global ISV program since 2017. So that's kind of where we sit and land.
Perfect. Let's talk a little bit about who uses your software.
Oh, well, that's a great question. We have a wide range of organizations, and they cross, core commercial industries, government, education, healthcare. As well, we have a large community of Microsoft partners and Microsoft managed service providers that are using, Provance, and they're using that for a range of different reasons. But very importantly, they have deep skill sets in the Microsoft, platform and technologies that our application is built on, which is Dynamics 365 and Power Platform. And because we're kind of native, to that Microsoft ecosystem and really infused with that same digital DNA as everyone's, focused on digital today, it's very easy for them to adopt Provance IT service management. It's the same skill sets that they're providing consulting services on, to their customers today. And it shows that they're using the same technologies to run their business that they're providing consulting services around. So it's really just a win-win, all around, from that perspective. And, I'd have to really just, summarize by saying, as an example, Whitfley, an accounting firm, a large one across the US that most people know, they're a great believer in Microsoft technologies, both as a partner and as a customer. And they estimate that they've saved 30% when they deployed Provance and switched from the leading ITSM solution in the market, simply because of those synergies of being on that same platform and consuming those same, technologies themselves.
So, let's talk about ITSM a little bit. And I think I got that right, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Because we had this conversation, me being a CRM guy coming in from really the sales automation world,
Yeah.
at first ITSM, I know what it is. I have to go look it up. So let's, a lot of the listeners here are traditional CRM partners.
Yeah.
So let's talk about sort of, your vertical and what it actually covers within an organization.
Yeah, so IT service management is a discipline on its own. It's a Gartner Magic Quadrant. There's probably 500 solutions providing, IT service management in the market. And if you think of IT service management, most people will think of that IT service desk. I have an issue. I need support. There's a support staff that is really managing all of the requests and the issues that are escalated to them. They're called incidents in this world. And there's a self-service portal typically in front where employees or customers can make a request for support or service and see the status of their requests as they interact with IT. And then, underpinning this, which is really important, and which is where the heavy part of IT service management sits, we are certified by Pink Verify for 11 ITIL processes. And ITIL is a global framework, and it really covers core things like incident, problem, change, release, service catalog. We have certifications for 11 of them. And this is really important to IT teams, and that's more than just the service desk personnel, because the best practices are really embedded in those process flows, to help them optimize the service delivery to both their employees, and to their customers if they're a managed service provider. And it's really right out of the box for them. So that's really where, the Provance IT service management fits in. But Provance IT asset management is another discipline on its own, and it's all about, helping organizations understand the who, what, when, where, and why of hardware and software assets really across their whole enterprise, data centers in the cloud. And it's really about getting that effective financial analysis, crisis management, budgeting, security, operational planning, the big picture of who has what where, which we saw, Rick, with COVID. It was massive.
Yeah, I was thinking that must be just a huge problem for many organizations.
Massive, and people weren't prepared. They didn't know, who had what and needed what to perform their work. And then how do you, on a large scale, many organizations, it was their entire company. They had to suddenly, provision hardware and software technologies securely, to them to be able to work from home. So having had an asset management program ahead of time, you would have been in a really good position. But if you didn't, then we saw a lot of companies scrambling to get there.
So you're built on the Microsoft stack, the dynamic stack, we'll call it. So that must give you the ability to scale down, but also scale up to be able to service the enterprise customers.
For sure, and we are cloud first, as the world is going there, and so scaling up and scaling down is easy for those organizations. And what's nice is that it's in the Microsoft cloud. So we're a SaaS software vendor, but we're not hosting and providing all of those services, in someone's cloud somewhere. We just layer in, literally on top of Dynamics 365, in that same secure cloud, whether you're government or commercial, so that everything is really tied together there. And that's so important. I mean, in today's world, with all of the security issues that we see going on, it's easier for companies to adopt a SaaS solution when you say that you are native and embedded in Microsoft Dynamics 365 in their cloud. So very, very important for customers.
So, we're seeing a lot of changes, a lot of growth, a lot of innovation in our cloud. Where is that driving your business? Where do you see really taking your application and sort of expanding it, or, getting creative with it?
Well, it's interesting because, when I talked about our customer base, we have those managed service providers. So when you look at 10th Magnitude, for example, they're a large Azure managed service provider in Chicago. And they see great synergies with Provance because of our built-in integrations to Azure Monitor and Azure Automation. So we're spanning those Microsoft clouds. The customers are getting benefits because we're native in Dynamics and Power Apps and Power Platform, but those are inherently tied together because they all sit in Azure, and you can delve into logic apps or anything that you want from there for different process automations and integrations, as well as Office 365. So for 10th Magnitude, that was really important that we tie this together, and that they could provide like a single source of truth, not only for themselves, but for their very large enterprise, clients that they have out there. And then we see, examples, for like Microsoft, Office engineering, our applications used in several different Microsoft divisions. And, for them, through the self-service portal, change management intake is important for them, and the tie into DevOps so that they can manage, all of the updates that happen with Microsoft Office, which is, pretty big. It's a pretty widely deployed application out there in the world, as we take a look at it. So, those are common things I would highlight. But if we look at the core investments Microsoft's making in AI and the innovation that they're bringing, and as they roll out, virtual agents and all of these things, we just consume those. We just inherit those, and we don't have to build those ourselves. And as organizations really go to a platform and consolidating many distinct, applications onto a consolidated platform, it's those same technologies and tools that are used across all of their applications. And I can't say how big that is for customers, Rick. It's like, the efficiencies and cost savings of not having to integrate together these disparate applications, being able to not have duplicate data and wrong data and trying to, synchronize those over time, not having to tie together workflow engines and having a different workflow engine in application A from application B, and the processes cross them. So it's absolutely, huge having these common Microsoft technologies like Flow and others, or Power Automate, used across all of their applications.
And I'd have to think connected IoT is going to be a big part of this going forward.
Absolutely. I mean, that's really, we see that in Microsoft case studies that they showcase to us at different events, and that absolutely ties in, strong, and especially as organizations are looking at, more asset management and things of that type. Absolutely.
Okay. So if people are interested in Provance, I guess they can talk to their Microsoft partner, or they can come directly to you.
Yeah, so we absolutely work directly with Microsoft customers. We work very closely and extensively with the Microsoft sales organization around the world. So very often, customers come to us through the Microsoft sales team because they've asked and they say, okay, well, it's great, we're looking at Dynamics, but we have IT service management, Microsoft, what do you provide in the way of IT service management? So that's when they bring us in, and, the story is so strong that we're native, we're inherently integrated, and it's very, very powerful for customers. So many times we're co-selling with Microsoft, where the customers, making the decision to go soup to nuts across, sales, customer service, even potentially for external or Provance ITSM for that, and we'll support them directly. But we also have partners that we work with who have that domain expertise also in IT asset management, like Alpha People, or we're doing a big project right now, with KPMG, etc. So yes, reach out to us directly, or to your Microsoft sales team, and they'll find and connect us.
Okay, Kelly, it's been a pleasure speaking with you, and I think your company is absolutely in the right place at the right time. As this Microsoft cloud, continues to expand, and we bring all those assets together, you're going to be the person managing those assets. So thanks for your time, and we'll be checking in again to hear more about Provance.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, Rick. I really appreciate the time, and look forward to that.
Thanks.
Thanks. Bye.